So, Peter, we knew things were bad for investment banks in Asia as well as everywhere else in the world, but I didn't realise they were so bad that we've now got an IPO, PICC, the Chinese insurer, with 17 banks working on it.
I know, it's hard to even think of 17 banks that you could actually name.
I can't even name 17 banks. How did this happen?
Well, it seems it's basically a big job preservation scheme, essentially. From PICC's point of view, presumably they're paying a certain amount of fees. If you get more banks on the deal, you just distribute the same number of fees between a larger number of banks, and probably you get a bit of pressure on the fees because people say they'll do it for less.
What are they going to do? What are they actually going to do, though, all of these banks?
Well, they won't do anything much more than 3 or 4 banks might do, but from the investment bank point of view, there's so little activity in the IPO market that it's basically bankers trying to preserve their own jobs by saying, we've been involved in this deal and we're still in the league tables with everybody else.
So what's in it for the client, though? If you've got an IPO issuer who can bring on 17 banks, or 20 or 25 if you can find 25, what's so good about that for the client?
I think it's kind of a cost-free option. Basically, it means that you get the same kind of service you would have got with 3 or 4 banks, and you've got more banks running around trying to drum up extra demand for your offering. And if it goes wrong, you can turn around to your boss and say, well, I had all the banks going, what could I have possibly done differently?
And I guess each of those banks will be unable to write independent research on the company, so you've basically made sure no one can be critical of your listing before it happens.
Yeah.
So is this sustainable, or do we have to see a shakeout at some point?
It's clearly not sustainable from the investment bank's point of view, and there is going to be a shakeout. They need to, basically capacity needs to come out of the market. The problem is that everybody is, it's a game of chicken. Everybody's waiting for everybody else to leave the market so that they can then pick up the business that's left over. They've been playing that game for a while, but I think the crunch will come this year. Unless the markets pick up, the crunch will come this year.
So I guess the question is, who are the winners and who are the losers? Because we saw a couple of days ago Deutsche Bank made some cuts here in Asia in its equities business. We expect more to do the same. Who do you think is going to come out best and worst?
I think really it's the people who have the strongest position and who also have the broadest business. So it's one thing to sort of make money on your IPO, but you've also got to try and make money on your equities trading and on other areas as well. So that's really what you need. You need a broad business.
So we're really going to get winners, losers, those that survive and those that don't.
Yeah.